Hi everyone, welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. This is 7.3 of Dawntrail and I'm joined by Vee Plays.
Heyo! Welcome in. Welcome back to whichever channel you are watching. We are also returning to FF14 after, well, quite a bit. And I guess we're shamelessly here for the story, as we did not interact with the last patch as much as we would have liked or should have done. But I'm hoping that this 7.3 will be somewhat close to the quality of the other 0.3 patches.
Yeah, I mean, the last time we played, I think we beat the 7.2 story. We did we've done all content in the game in regards to like 8-man raid, 24-man raid, and story, except the last 8-man raid. We didn't do that yet, and we will probably record it at some point today. I know it's slightly older content, but at least you'll be seeing our reactions to the fights. We did actually both really enjoy the first 8-man raid, so we were very much excited for that. As you both saw, I think it was very, very obvious with our FF14's 24-man raid reaction to the first one. I was very, very excited, very, very happy with it. I personally know very, very little about what this patch is and how it's going to be. It's a small disclaimer: the setup of the layout of the, I once said stream, then the recording, as always, is changing and ever changing. Sometimes I'm on camera, sometimes I'm not. Sometimes in my edited footage, it's from Vee's camera angle, and you see my video. Doing the best we can to make things work. It's a little bit hard. I'm doing a lot of traveling and 2 PCs and all this stuff going on, but just make do with knowing that Vee is there. You can hear her, and I'm on Vee's side. For those who can only hear me on Vee's side, but if you want to see our reactions, both our YouTube channels will have our POVs if you are interested in selecting through either or. And if you don't do that, that's completely cool. We're just still privileged to have you here to join us through 7.3. Vee, do you have any expectations or anything you're looking forward to?
Well, first of all, I just wanted to add that as per my end, I have tried to change and tweak the layout a little bit. And I think I've made some good changes where we don't put our own cameras into the actual game anymore, just for the purposes of you being able to see the entire game. So I would humbly ask for your feedback if you're watching this. Let me know if you like this sort of recording. Normally Neon is where Cryo is at the moment, but like Neon said, he is doing quite a bit of traveling, and currently he's recording on the PC in the next room. So there's quite a bit of technical hurdles that we already go through to make these videos happen. So from our end, apologies for that, but I do hope that you enjoyed the videos nonetheless. And as per your questions about some expectations, like I mentioned earlier, I would like to believe that this patch is going to be somewhat of a significant, ending to Dawntrail, as it normally is with 0.3 patches. But with Dawntrail, as things are, I am very cautiously optimistic. I don't want to set the expectations too high, and I'm entering this 0.3 patch with almost no expectations at all. So I don't want to get my hopes up and say, oh, this is gonna be the glorious ending or whatever. Like I jokingly said in one of the previous videos that we recorded, and I think this was the trailer for 7.3, some people will just celebrate that this is the conclusion of Dawntrail, but I do hope that it is a satisfying one nonetheless.
And before we begin, be sure to subscribe or drop the like button a little smash quickly as we do get into this. I will just say, for those who love FF14, if you do love FF11, I know about the 24-man raid. Me and Vee have started a little FF11 journey, so if you want to see some videos on her channel, you'll find some videos on FF11 stuff there on Vee's first time playing FF11 ever, really. So it's not the retail content, it is the Horizon server, but I wanted Vee to experience what it was like in the 75 era. We do have plans for more content with that, and of course we have some plans for World of Warcraft. Vee will be having some World of Warcraft coming out really, really soon as well, so lots of content coming. Aside from that, unless Vee has anything else to say, I think we've jumped right into story. as for my own question, I have quite enjoyed Dawntrail. I know that I feel like liking Dawntrail is very taboo. I think it's a very heated topic still, very loaded gun. But I do think it has overall been okay. And I say that in a way where you might think that that's optimistic. Well, no, I think okay is quite low for FF14 as for the main story of FF14's 7.0. But I will say personally, out of all the 7.1, 2 and 3s, or 7.1 and 2s, or 0.1 and 0.2s, I think there have been very strong patches. I've never really been a fan of the patches. I always feel like they're a bit meh. You know, barring one or two, a few out of all the expansions we've done. But 7.1 and 2 have been quite good, and they've touched on certain characters and certain backstories, and you know, dived into different types of camera angles and music and all this stuff. And I am appreciating that. And where 7.2 left off, I was still left intrigued and excited to see what was left for the 7.3 finale. I am relieved to see it ending. Admittedly, I am happy to see it ending, but I'm more intrigued about where it's gonna go. That's where I'm more concerned about, is where is the story gonna go. You know, Dawntrail hasn't hit for everyone. I think some people have loved it, and that's completely fair and, you know, a fair statement. I'm looking forward to seeing wherever it goes and what character is going to be what, or what the villain will be for the finale of Dawntrail. You know, people want to not see Wuklamau and all this. Sorry, Wuklamat, as they don't want to see her. I still don't mind her. You know, she's okay, but I do want to see these new stories. You know, these new characters. You know, the sick boy, as me and Vee keep calling him, and see where that goes. And I am quite excited for it, to be honest. So rather than being sad to see it end, I am excited to see where it's going to go. I will also say that Dawntrail is a bit of a soft spot in my heart, because this is kind of where me and Vee were starting to date and stuff. So throughout the whole experience of us being together, it's kind of been our journey of our relationship almost, but into Dawntrail. So it has, like, I have got fond memories of it, but probably more because of Vee than the actual story itself. But it has been a good experience, and honestly, if it was absolutely dog shit, excuse the swearing, bleep that out, Neon and Vee, if it would be absolutely rubbish, I wouldn't be playing the game. That's the bottom line, and that's still the thing with FF14, is that people will keep coming back, and hopefully we do see some bigger and better things. I have more to say on that. We're going to talk a bit more as we go through the story here. Let's make our way to the MSQ, which I believe starts in the Neon Star. It's got to start with my name, and we make our way to Tassos. Do you want me to? It's been a good while. I think like me and Vee are mega rusty with FF14 characters and reading. Do you want me to read the males and you read the females, Vee? Or
yeah, sure. I think that'd be a good idea. Yeah.
Get my reading voice on then. Ready for Neon to butcher some content. Let's go. All right. You head into the back room.
Wait, the bathroom? Oh, right. Okay.
Back room. V's.
The bathroom.
I'm also on a slower PC, hence, you know, what Vee said about the setups and, you know, setting up the content and adjustments and all this kind of stuff. So my load screens will be longer, so we'll try and accommodate for that in whatever way we can. So Shill's up next, Vee, so you can start reading Shill. Yep. While you load in and stuff, I'll read Galuljar. I couldn't fight them. I couldn't even get my authority back when it was... I sound like Dobby, I'm so sorry, guys. I couldn't fight them, and I couldn't even get my authority back when it was stolen. So what am I? Oh! Sorry, that was an inside joke between what Vee will know. I need to find my way to be more useful.
Targeted tragedy. Shale wishes a moment of your time. If you have a moment, Vee, Geode wants to take stock of current crisis. Oblivion may be lacking the finer details in certain areas, so we'd like you, of course, to lend your perspective to the conversation.
Okay, I'm gonna be on a long load screen, guys, so...
See you in 5 minutes.
At the end of the cutscene cap. No, it's loaded up. Sorry to drag you into our meeting, but we need to get a better handle on the threats Alexandria is facing right now.
Not at all. Much has happened since the state funeral, and a clearer idea of where things stand would be beneficial for us as well. And oh my god, I'm so sorry for interrupting, but this is just what we talked about recently with the reused music. Like, I don't want to offer criticism 5 minutes into the recording, but the fact that we're here and the moment Kryle's dialogue starts and we're hearing the sad violins, I'm like, okay, what is the sad moment of this particular quest? It's like, I feel like it's almost spoilery and almost gives this predictability. So, you know, let's see what the sad plot is this time around, I guess.
We'll talk a bit more about that if we can when we go from A to B, if you want B. But I agree with what you're saying. I think I'll also say my piece after. Let's get the cutscene out of the way so we don't interrupt the flow of the convo, and then we'll discuss that, I think, a little bit. So Shale says,
First things first then, let's discuss the state of the machine malfunctions. Every single sector reported instances of sentries attacking citizens without provocation, and vehicles suddenly becoming unresponsive to controls. And while these malfunctions were resolved fairly quickly, they nevertheless resulted in a considerable number of injuries and deaths. But you haven't heard anything about new incidents since then, right? Right. No additional reports have been logged as far as I know. That's the good news.
The bad news is, I tried to take control of the soldiers when they started hurting people, but they wouldn't even listen to me. Even though I have the king's authority, once things calmed down, I was finally able to make them give up their weapons, but if it happens again, I don't know if they'll ignore me like before. The King of Resolve's authority is about the highest there is. Who is the man that can overwrite it with such impunity?
Calyx. He lived in the age of the storm surge as I did.
Oh yeah, now I'm remembering.
Lest you forget, he was known for his advancements in electrope technology, and it was he who established preservation for the purpose of furthering his research. The wasting disease which afflicted him, however, was said to leave him scant years left to live. He must have chosen to undergo conversion into an endless, that he might continue his efforts into the present day.
Preservation's early goals seemed noble enough. Exploring treatments for Levin's sickness, designing Everkeep's core system, that sort of thing. Why harm the people he was ostensibly trying to help?
I do not pretend to fully understand Calyx's motivations, only that he appeared incensed by what he saw as mankind's failings. He asserted that the strategy of adapting our species through generational succession was outdated, that evolution now requires us to forsake bodies of flesh in favor of eternal preservation. We've already seen how he's employed the simulant to convince Alexandrians that endless conversion is their only hope for survival. Eternal life is assured for the 5,000 who registered their neo-regulators. What a pay to win. But this is merely one part of Calyx's greater plan. He wants the key to interdimensional fusion. With that relic in his possession, he will draw ether from the reflections and expand his efforts to create endless 1,000-fold. If we mean to foil Calyx's schemes, then our only option is to determine where he's hiding and put him down like a sick dog. She didn't say that. Put him down. Which unfortunately is easier said than done. I've been scouring the terminal we found in the depths of Everkeep, but I failed to uncover even the slightest trace of his activities. Give me a little more time though, and I'm sure I can sniff him out.
I'll help you. I don't know, I made him sound like a Kingdom Hearts character, I'm sorry. While Galuljar and Shale are working on that, I think I'm going to take a look around. I want to make sure no problems have cropped up, as well as search for any information that might lead us to Calyx. You're welcome to come along. I know the malfunction could happen at any time, and I'd be glad to have some brawlers at my back. Got it, boss.
Count me in. Raha and the others are helping Oblivion patrol near the other levels of the keep, so shall we stick to the streets of Solution 9? Yes, because there's good music there.
Sounds like a plan. Thanks, you two. I appreciate the company.
I have to speak with city's administrators about bringing in the Landsguard. I want our soldiers around to protect those who are moving to Tuliolal. Alphino and Alizé will be joining me for the meeting, so the three of us can cover that sector as soon as we're done. If I may, I'd like to join Vee's group. If you'll have me.
Neon.
Or Neon's group, yes.
You can't see, but my character was pleased to be involved in that. He smiled and went. The more mouths to ask the questions, the merrier, as long as you're aware of the dangers.
I've never seen the phrase "more mouths to ask questions." Immediately my head read it as "the more mouths to feed." Thank you. I'll do my best not to be a burden. Okay. I'm more worried about you, Geode. Don't do anything stupid.
Oh, you'll change your tune once we get back with the goods on Calyx. Then the drinks are on you. Come on, let's continue this outside.
Sounds like a threat.
Not gonna lie, feels good to be reading again, not gonna lie. I think the last game I read or was reading, I'm currently playing FF4. So it's kind of nice to be reading FF14. I have missed it, I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know how to get out.
I'll read Gululja, and Gululja says, I wish I could grow up faster. I wish I could grow up faster. There'll be so much more I can do when I'm bigger like you, he says. Aww. Anyway, let's leave.
Yeah, I can't even see him. Kryl says...
update for people listening and chilling out in FF14 watching us right now. But since last recording, Vee has now finished and complete Final Fantasy IX. So any FF9 references or bosses or anything like that, she's totally going to get. We do and did love the, we're going to call it the Beatrix fight. We loved that fight a lot, so we want to see more references, or I want to see more references like that.
Like, I get the overall theme of, preservation of life, especially what they were, trying to do with Vivi and the Black Mages in general. So I get how this is very similar to Calyx, and I think that there is an amount of, I don't want to offer any sort of spoilers, especially not for FF9 Endgame, but the place where Zidane ends up going in the late game, I think the overall theme of it is quite similar to what they were trying to tell us in pretty much the entirety of the Dawntrail MSQ. So I would say that this is not a direct retelling of FF9 at any point, but I think that the big philosophy behind it is present in both FF9 and 14.
Yeah, it definitely hits the same themes, and I think that's why this expansion resonated with me sort of earlier more than you. I do think the whole Black Mages and their purpose of life and knowing how delicate it is also a theme that FF14 hits in Dawntrail, with the regulators on their heads and how life is trying to be preserved and how people want to live forever. But in FF9 it's about, I don't want to say some bigger spoilers, I guess we should be careful here, but FF9's theme is very much about that, with the main character, with the main villain, with Vivi, and I think a lot of just generally questioning your sort of each character having their own existential crisis, to be fair, in FF9, with Freya and and people having a meaning to continue on or to discover themselves. Like Amaranth wants to discover why people make the decisions they decide to do, which is why he joins the team in the first place, this kind of stuff. And I think and obviously, there was Sir Adalbert Steiner in this, aka the Rusty Robot, aka, so there was lots of similarities. I still think to this day, I'm so glad they brought that character in. It was so good. They brought in the play from FF9, they brought that in here, they brought the Beatrix fight in there, that was also cool with the music, they brought that in here. And I am interested in this theme. I'm not sure if it's clashing with Wuklamat's, I'm going to call it her world, or her region of the world in this game. I don't know if that's, placed in the right way, but it is interesting. And obviously, Solution 9V is also one of Zidane's limit break moves. That's a spoiler that I was been trying not to tell you for the longest time. So Solution 9 is a name in the word of FF9 in this game. And also, fun fact, for the first 2 or 3 of my YouTube videos from 11 years ago, my original username on YouTube was a Bandit Stealer, and a Bandit Stealer is a type of weapon in FF9, as a fun fact.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so a little cool fun fact, but also nerdy fun fact, and also rubbish username for me to use. But you know, mistakes were made. But I'll have you know, there is one of my favourite YouTubers out there who is named after a weapon in FF9, and that is called the Mage Masher. So Mage Masher 22, excellent YouTuber if you've never met him before. Still riding the name strong. So, are you ready for me to read, Vee? Yeah.
I'm just gonna read Kryle's dialogue.
Sure.
The city looks as though it's regained a sense of normalcy. Alas, the people will not soon forget recent events. And then Sveen says, I will do my utmost to ensure the happiness of Alexandria and its people. Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, I've clicked. So while Vee loads in, because there's a little bit of cinematic, I also love that they've involved Alexandria and Lindblum heavily into the story. People might be subjective to that. I actually really love it. I hope we see more of, or hear more of Lindblum, as Lindblum is a big sort of like hood or hub of, not hood. It's a big hub in FF9. So I do hope we get to go there, or see there, or be there, or something. I don't know if we have yet. I don't think we have. So I do hope to see more of that. So anyway, Geode says, sorry, I was off on my own little world there. Shall we get started?
People seem uneasy.
Are you alright, Geode? Hang on.
Are you alright? Let's see what there is to see. Are you alright, Geode?
I'm gonna say let's see what there is to see.
Oh, okay.
And I'll tell you what he says in response, and you can tell me if he says something different. Right you are. It's time we took some action.
For me, it says me. I'm well enough given the circumstances.
Pretty blunt response, that's fair. It was the Queen's fondest wish that her subjects remain shielded from the horrors of death. And so they were for the longest time. Then, the moment mortality once again becomes an unavoidable fact of life, they are greeted with an outbreak of bloody violence. Many are bound to give the endless alternative serious consideration.
Indeed, and I do not blame them for that. It is only natural that such thoughts should come to mind. What I cannot forgive is the way Calyx wields fear and misery to manipulate people into making that choice. No one, not Calyx nor anyone else, should dictate how we cope with the spectre of death. As one who lived as an Alexandrian, I wish to put the choices for this country's future back into the hands of its citizens.
And you think we can handle that responsibly after everything you've seen of us?
That responsibility. Sorry, it's just the context. That didn't mean to correct you. Sorry about that.
It's okay, fine.
It is
text on the screen.
Sorry, it was what I've seen that has convinced me that you can. I awoke 4 centuries later to find our people living and laughing beneath Alexandria's banner. Though surprised and bewildered, I was overjoyed to see it so. You all deserve to be happy.
Well, then. We best not let you down. Now, I suggest we make as a group. We don't know if or when a battle might find us.
Probably right now. Oh, I believe some came prepared for just such an eventuality.
Someone came prepared.
Is that the grimoire you retrieved from the old castle? That's a very strange camera angle. Yes, my parents gifted it to me when I was a child. They were adamant that I should learn to protect the things important to me. I was fortunate enough to have a tutor in the arcane arts, so I laid claim to some small measure of skill.
Oh, I hope it's Dr. Tot. That would be so cool.
And I also do love how they're kind of leaning into what, Garnet can do in FF9, like with the, with the healing. Yeah, it's nice.
Yes.
If that's the case, it might be better if we split into 2 groups after all. It would certainly be more efficient for information gathering.
I guess that makes sense. The 2 of you can take the west side of the recreation zone then. Neon and I will take the east.
And Vee.
Give me time to involve her.
Very well.
Get away from them for 2. Give me time to involve her.
We shall end our patrol in the plaza, just past True View, and await you there. I don't know if I'm reading that right.
I have to say, I'm glad that you started saying True View and not Voo.
When have I ever said Voo?
Neon, pull up the compilation, Captain.
Prove it. Prove it.
Alright, we've got a conversation next to me. I don't see him yet. He hasn't appeared.
Oh. Yeah,
Give
he
my
has a
computer a minute.
text. Yep.
Still loading. Oh, there he is. Let's do the rounds then. We'll see what's what and chat to the people we meet along the way. Pay special attention to anyone who looks overwhelmed or overly excited. Hopefully that will earn us a tidbit or two we didn't know before. Oh, escort conquest.
Oh.
What is this? What escorting entails? Certain duties require that one or more NPCs accompany you in order to proceed with special quest objectives. I added special for no reason. You must keep them at your side and make your way to the designated location. V's face looks really stressed right now. So long as you remain in the same area, NPCs accompanying you will remain at the side even when using teleport or the ether net. It is possible to ride mounts or swim while escorting NPCs. Please note, however, they will not appear at your side until you dismount or leave the water. You may also speak with NPCs while escorting them. Furthermore, you may encounter conversation points along the way which offer additional topics of discussion. These points were also indicated on your map. When speaking with NPCs, you will be given the option to part ways. You'll also part ways automatically when changing areas. If you part ways with an NPC, you may return to the starting zone and speak with them to try again.
This is something that we've already done. I think that's like NPCs following. I think it's because maybe we were away, so now we're getting tutorials again.
No, I just think they've updated it and they're making sure that we know what's what. Personally.
I can't see your geode.
Oh, you can see my geode anytime you like, darling. There's a somber citizen here. I'm going to talk to him. The somber citizen seems to be female with that lovely hair, so...
Are the sentries and air wheelers safe to be around now? I just know it's going to happen again. And maybe next time I'll be the one who dies in a horrible accident, probably.
Wow, sounds like V.
I get her. I need a Neo regulator. Becoming endless is the only way. Even Queen Speen says so.
I will say, what was I going to say about the somber citizen? I don't know, I think she looks cute. Can't remember what I was going to say something, it's not important.
That's really bothering me. Like, why are they square?
What square?
The markings on the floor, like where you need to stand.
It's fine if that bothers
so
you.
annoying. 4
out of 10 Dawntrail, guys, because it's a square, not a circle. Discuss true view, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, the memories. I used to drink around here all the time. I made sure not to overdo it when I had work the next day, but once we were past the busy season, or when the ladies were amenable to my company, well, you'd have scraped me off the street outside the morning or afternoon. The worst I ever got was on what should have been the worst day of my life. If only I could remember it. I was still wearing a regulator back then. It was only the last day I met it was only it was also the day I first met Shill, although I guarantee she's forgotten it completely. Oh, I'm feeling she didn't forget.
Yeah, probably didn't. There's this one here, grieving citizen.
Oh, this is a quest. Oh, okay.
No distractions. I don't allow it.
No, it was just a quest marker. I went to it by mistake.
I think there's a dude. Go ahead.
It's a dude, yeah. You want to hear my story? Well, I appreciate you offering a sympathetic ear. There's not much to tell. If you must know, though, a good friend of mine died when those machines went crazy. I keep reading this as Eorzea, by the way. That's what I was going to say about the other girl. His air wheeler dropped right out of the sky, and he didn't even survive the crash. Damn fools wearing a regulator. I know that's not so strange these days, but he'd never have bothered with one. He was at peace with the idea of dying someday, and I thought I understood what he meant till it happened. Where am I going? Oh, behind us.
Oh.
We're heading south.
Yeah, there's one.
South. Like V said earlier, though, the reuse of music in FF14 has been getting a little tiresome. I mean, this music's nice. I mean, it's repetitive, this track, the one we're listening to right now. But the one that you were talking about was the Sad Violins. It has got a soundtrack name. I don't know it, but...
I just call it Sad Violins.
Yeah. The bottom line is we do want to see new music. I feel like for someone who's been playing for 11 years, hearing the sad violins 7 years or 8, 9, 10 years later is getting a little bit boring. And I think the biggest point I wanted to bring up is that Vee feels that it's a spoiler almost, that when that scene happens, that there's going to be some sort of sad topic or distraught topic or something. So it's kind of like spoiler, if you like.
It feels like a template. It feels like someone who's editing these this video footage. I'm gonna call them cutscenes. Has basically a folder: sad template music. Put in sad template music because sad cutscene or whatever. And I think there's an amount of people who are appreciative of routines and repetitive things like, oh, the dungeons are the same, music is the same. I think they do appreciate it, and for a while I was one of them. Like, I'm a huge creature of habit, and I am the kind of person who finds a lot of comfort and appreciation in things repeating themselves. But at the same time, even for me, it's too much, and if it's too much for me, I think it's too much even for people who like the new things. So that's how I know it's been a little too much of all of that.
I would agree as well. I came from a world with. I'll just read this dialogue and I'll read it on the way to. I'll tell you about it on the way to the next. What has me in such a fine mood, you ask? Well, I've just registered my new regulator. I was layering and becoming nothing but memories at first, but now that I've gone through with the registration, I've never felt more at ease. Also, once it was done, the regulator displayed the current numbers. Of the 5,000 slots available, over 3,800 have already been filled. So if you're still hesitant, you've not much time to make up your mind. Mark my words, friend. When there's only a few slots left, it's going to be very ugly. Leon?
Vee?
A word? I feel like if there was a new factor in these stories we've heard, once we hadn't considered during our discussion with everyone in the back room.
The people are still deathly afraid that fights are likely to break over the new regulators, that a victim of the violence wasn't wearing a regulator.
I think there'll be fights going over the regulators.
I think so. I'm gonna say something else as well, just to see the different dialogue. I'm gonna say that people are still deathly afraid.
So what does he say to that dialogue when he says that?
He says, that's a point of concern, don't get me wrong, but I think we were acutely aware of it already. So now I'm gonna select the other wrong one. The victim of the violence wasn't wearing a regulator. Yes, that's it. Oh shit, okay. So now you do the...
Okay, I'll tell you what he said if you choose that people are going to fight over the regulators.
Yeah.
He says here, the fact that nearly 4,000 people have registered is worthy of its own report. But are you sure there wasn't something else?
Now he says, yes, that's it. Oh yeah, big
I chose the wrong one, yeah.
Dawntrail lore geeks here.
It's alright, people might be interested. Oh yes, that's it. The vast majority of residents have always worn regulators, so it's not a detail we'd normally think about with the supply of souls cut off though. More and more people have been going without them. We need to look into the casualties from the recent attacks and check whether or not they were equipped with regulators. Let's ask around the street over to the east. It was pretty chaotic at the time, but maybe we'll find eyewitnesses who can help us confirm if this was a pattern or not. Something I was going to say about Final Fantasy XIV's music is that, and I'll run this wavy if you want to follow, is that I come from an MMO where FF11, where a lot of the music, especially in the early 2000s, each zone had its own dedicated soundtrack. So like Juno had its own soundtrack, Sandoria, Selbina even, Bastok, Windhurst, all of these were never reused. It was always just used once and only in that area. So for me, in FF14, the amount of reusable music since Around the Dawn has been crazy. And you'll also find that there's been a lot of soundtracks that were only used for certain expansions, but never used ever again. So for example, you're never going to hear the from Shadowbringers. You're not going to hear that in Dawntrail now, because that's Shadowbringers. But yet, they may reuse some of that music from Shadowbringers in the other expansions. But it's more, to me, it's always the reusable music is the Realm Reborn music. I always feel anyway. And that doesn't go for dungeons, dungeons and trials. Obviously, all that music's different, but I don't know. I just wish there was more variety.
Me too.
Maybe
I
some
agree.
of the Heaven's Ward, Stormblood, even music being used in different areas, so it doesn't just feel unique to that expansion all the time.
Are you ready to read?
It was once my job to deliver goods by hover cargo. That's why I know a fair number of names and faces throughout the city. The little ones who jumped for joy when I brought them packages. The old lady who'd always greet me with a smile. I'd hate for anything bad to happen to them. He was doing food deliveries, Kappa.
If you can count what they eat, food.
Oh, I think we're on the street B. I think we might be, where we saw Calyx on the big screen, I think.
Yeah, I think that might be possible.
Century.
It is a big city, though. I don't quite remember, but there would be a display. I don't remember. Is this
Century? Hello, how are you today? Please let me know if I may be of service. City-wide casualty data unavailable. Government officials are currently processing reports from all affected zones. Sorry, I did say processing, yeah. Can you narrow it down to the recreation zone then? You must have some sort of estimates on hand. Recalibrating parameters. Injured. 87 individuals. Casualties. 19 individuals.
Jesus.
Casualties equipped with regulators. 0. It's kind of scary with these regulators, not gonna lie.
Yeah, a little bit.
Unsettled sanitation worker. It's a long name. Come on, Vee. Give it your all. It's a guy.
Oh, it's a dude, yeah.
Wish to know if the people who died in the machine's rampage were wearing regulators. I'm sorry, but I was... Vee, have a good look at him. Is it a guy, though? I'm sorry, but I was assigned to clearing away debris. I didn't see any of the deceased. No bodies were present by the time I arrived, so I assumed the rushers had already done their work. I do remember there being patches of white dust scattered about that were quite a chore to clean up, but nothing else worthy of mention. Neon, I think it's time we rejoined Kryl and Sven. I was half joking. I was half joking with my burst to shale, but we may have stumbled upon something major here. We should find our findings and keep pursuing this avenue of inquiry. Let's bring V2. There you go, V. I've said myself. Didn't Kryl say to meet in the plaza outside of True View? Let's get going. It's not far behind us.
Can I go?
We can. Not far. Still like solution.
I want the car. Really Cyberpunk. Cool. Come on. Sorry, what?
It is. Yeah, it's proper cyberpunk. Alright. Okay, is that Lalafell? Yeah, it's Kryl.
Me and Geo, they're coming.
It'll likely be a cutscene load screen for me.
Yeah. I can't see the other people for the dialogue.
I'm ready for the cutscene whenever you're ready.
I can't remember I can't remember what my button. Oh, there we go. I clicked it.
It's actually a setting in that you can clear all people near an NPC, so you can target it easy. But it's fine. We'll do that.
Yeah, I should do that. I know the settings. Just reset. Yeah. So, essentially, you're saying that the people who were killed by malfunctioning machines weren't wearing regulators. Before we continue, I would just like to add that this is an FF9 reference in a way, but I do think that this patch also has some traces of the story of FF10 as well. As Neon and I are currently speedrunning FF10, both CSR and the long game. Obviously, when you go through the long game, you can't help but notice some of these things. So the way they treat the machina or machines, killing people, and then basically people, a group of people, without too many spoilers for those of you who haven't played, kind of shying away from using machina because machina kind of not turned on people, but malfunctioned in a way and caused a lot of deaths. I think that there is a little bit of inspiration there as well, but we can talk about it after the cutscene. Sorry.
It's okay. I think that's a good point. We're going to talk about it after. Well, the numbers are still tentative and only apply to that one zone. We don't know that. We don't know how they'll stack up against the overall data, but this is definitely more than a coincidence. I think it's safe to say that anyone who had removed their regulator was a priority target.
Now that you mention it, the person I was treating for injuries wasn't wearing one either. But why? Why are they being targeted over everyone else? Based solely on the lack of a neo-regulator, we cannot judge if a person has no desire to become endless, or if they simply fail to acquire one of the limited devices. But those who wear no regulator at all, they have clearly rejected the old system of using souls to revive themselves. Put another way, they have chosen to live their lives in the knowledge that death is an inevitability. The chances that such resolute people would wish to become endless are far lower, I would imagine. And so, Calyx has chosen those least likely to accept his vision as victims to stoke fear and panic.
But there's no need to kill anyone! With the way things were, the people were already fearful enough. He could have found 5,000 willing citizens without all this madness.
You make a good point. Perhaps this sowing of terror is in service to another scheme, or he had some other need for the lives he's taken. I do have one question for discussion, just out of curiosity, once this is done.
Sure.
Or is it a good time, you think? I'll ask later.
I was going to say, ask after this if anything, so we don't know what's going to happen for the rest of this conversation yet. Could it have something to do with... Could something have been done to the victims?
Yeah, I'm going to go with that.
I wonder, Vee. What about the sanitation worker story? She saw no bodies, but mentioned piles of white dust.
Dust but no bodies. Now where have I heard that before? Do you recall when we went to save Arenville from the sentries in the outskirts? That Usher Macalite told us much the same thing. I kind of don't remember, to be honest.
Okay, I don't remember. Oh, this guy. I'll read it. I'll read it back in the distance. When I arrived, I found no body, only a pile of dust, which the wind quickly scattered. Confused, I questioned the residents, but none knew what had become of it.
Looks like Eorzea.
His brother Kappa.
Right. That both stories speak of missing remains is suspicious enough, but the shared mention of this dust is too much to ignore.
Damn, I've just noticed Svein's heels. Damn, girl!
In that case, we should confirm if this substance was present at other sites and attempt to ascertain its nature. It's burned bodies, we already know that. Following
one of those.
This thread may lead us not only to an explanation for the missing bodies, but also for the intent behind Calyx's murderous actions. Vee, we need your help. I've lost control over the soldiers in the residential area. They might be trying to hurt people again. Oblivion members are on their way now, but are you close enough to join them? Oh, sorry, that was Glolja. Sorry.
I was going, I don't remember them being, very soft-spoken. Damn it! Our new investigation will have to wait. Let's go! I'm making oral-esque at the moment. Let's go! That's how it's done. Sorry, I'll stop now. I'm in a load screen, Vee, so just so you know.
Yeah, no worries. Oh! First time we hear voices.
I'm still in it.
Oh, that's unnerving.
Stay back! Stay away from me!
Leave him alone!
Are you all right?
What happened here?
sentry walked into my apartment, even though I'd locked the door and everything. I managed to run, but the man who tried to save me...
No weapons, which is to be expected, considering all the sentries were meant to be disarmed. Yet it was ordered to attack all the same, even if that meant using its bare hands.
I'll leave matters here to you. I'm going to do a sweep of the surrounding area.
Do you know anyone else in this sector who no longer wears a regulator?
I don't think I've seen Isadora and her boy with theirs recently.
Go to them, quickly!
I'll be fine. But Isadora's in bad shape. Mother, please.
Isadora! Thank goodness. She wasn't struck anywhere vital.
Dude, the blood.
Actually, graphic.
If only I'd gotten here sooner.
I love the magic she's using here. Looks really pretty.
Probably unlocked
Everything will be
Kiraga.
right. I promise to make your mother better.
Thank you, miss.
Me loss. Or my loss. Milo's. That was his name. Do you remember him, yeah?
Yeah, of course. I thought he was gonna die. Like, that would have been the
Same, actually.
FF14 way.
On the floor. Yeah.
Will she sleep like that forever?
No, not forever. She'll wake soon, I'm sure of it.
That's good to hear. Thank you for saving her.
That's a relief. Oh, so that's an intro.
Yeah, that's a pretty strong intro. I like it. So far, it's good. You know, it started off with Jude going round and, you know, and then this cutscene.
Yeah.
And it was quite unnerving, that scene of the robot's head just twisting round and...
It was very creepy. I didn't expect it at all. I'm somewhat sensitive to, like, these, like, bones and necks moving very quickly. I don't like it. There's just something about it that is really unnerving to me. I just wanted to comment on one thing that is really bothering me with the system that Calyx has created of the 5,000 regulators being given to everyone. So I think that there's an existential flaw in his design. First of all, if you acquire a regulator, that means that you may live forever, but if you have a child along the line, that means that your kid won't have a regulator because they'll be out. So that means that you are immortal, or presumably you at some point want to pass the regulator on to someone else, if that's even possible, but you have to see your child grow up without one, which will still, have you fear for their life or whatever. And flaw number 2 is that you are offering 5,000 regulators to the current generation, and this is going to sound maybe a little bit cruel, but maybe not everyone is deserving of one. So maybe you'll have 5,000 people from a single generation who are more or less capable or good for society, but instead you could spread them out across multiple generations and have people who will actually contribute to the society. Because if they already have 3,800, I'm assuming that most people who wanted a regulator already have them or applied for them. So that means that everyone else who ends up getting one, maybe they're not the best fit for the society at all. And that sounds very I guess aggressive. I sound like some sort of a villain from some sort of dystopian, I don't know, movie or a show, who would only select the best specimens to who are useful to the society, to I don't know, to be their, I guess, eternal components or parts or whatever. But this way, if you get what I mean, this way he just gets 5,000 random people regardless of who they are.
I get where you're going with that as well. I honestly hope we find out a bit more about this as the story goes on. 7.3, so maybe we'll find out something juicy, or 7.4, or 7.5, or maybe this is the theme setting up for the finale of the actual expansion. Maybe. Personally, I actually really love these regulator side of the story.
Me
I think
too.
it's a very unique thing, and there's so many cool things that, I'm not saying FF14 and Dawntrail or the developers or anything, but there's a lot of cool things they can do with the storyline right now that could move us up to fighting something epic and give us that grandeur fight like we've had with Endwalker and Shadowbringers and all this, such as like Hades and do you want to be friends? Like all these grandeur fights. And I think the only way they can do it is if they had some extra kind of something oomph. Like when we fought what's his face at the end of Dawntrail, and he went into like uber epic mode and had the rocking music. I can't think of his name. I'm not gonna lie. Not Gululja, but
Zul? No, that's
Zia. Yeah. Zuljaja.
I don't know. There's too many Jajas.
Like 8 months ago, but
they've gone.
But yeah, I think it does show that they could do something grandeur with it. The fight was pretty cool. I remember it being very epic. It actually reminded me of FF16 music for some boss fights later on in that. So I really did look back on that with fond memories. Couldn't tell you how to do the mechanics right now, but very much enjoyed it. So I think with the regulators, there's a really good side of the aspect of story that they could dive in with this, and with the Calyx, I think they really could do something special with him. So low-key gonna say, actually really excited to see where we go from here, personally.
Yeah, me too.